Todd Boehly goes on Bloomberg TV and actively says Chelsea did everything right, but when you do that, not always is the outcome prevalent. What? What does that even mean? More importantly, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Carney look set to be leaving the club, and Aubameyang goes on Instagram to defend himself. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, and in today's video, you've seen the running order, you understand what we're going to be talking about, and let's get into it, because we need to break it down, we need to get into the little details, because all of you apparently in the comments below love it when I get into the details. Guys, I love it too, so we're a match made in heaven. All I need to ask for you lot to do is hit the like button, guys, subscribe to the channel, because it's the best way you guys can support me, and finally, in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Go follow me there, and it's a good place for you to follow me. By the way, there'll be no content for the next 4 days because your boy's getting married and he's going away on his bachelor party. 4 days in Portugal, get a nice little tan hopefully, and just relax. So I'm gonna take a little chill pill on the content. I'm not taking my camera. No matter what happens, there'll be no content till Monday. So you guys have to soak this up, come back and watch this over and over again. But other than that, let's get into the video. I just wanted to keep you in the loop. So Todd Boehly's way of running a football club is completely different to the way Roman Abramovich ran it. Roman Abramovich hired Marina Garaskaiva, hired Petr Cech, hired Kenyan, hired other Emanalo and other individuals throughout his time, and they just basically dealt with day-to-day operations. They did all the talking in the public, and they ran the PR agenda that was needed to be ran. Boehly's on the other way. Like, Boehly's very transparent. He's very out there, and so is Iqbali. Like, you see Iqbali at a Lakers game, and he's openly talking about, who do you want as the next manager? You want Pochettino? Maybe. Like, he's just chatting shit. But the reality is, well, I really swore on this channel, but I don't usually swear. But the reality is, Boehly's on Bloomberg TV and he's talking about his first year as an owner of Chelsea, his affinity with the Lakers and the Dodgers. And what was really interesting was he used the words, even when you do everything right, sometimes problems arise. And the problems that arise can be big, but the best thing is to find the problems. I found that really odd way of wording it, because when you think that you did everything right, it really conveys a very arrogant state. I don't think they did everything right. There were numerous things that they've got wrong. There are numerous things they got right. For example, they brought in external consultants to give them opinions on how to build the football club. That's correct. I think Verville, Winstanley, and Lawrence are very much needed at the club. Sacking Thomas Tuchel, in my opinion, was wrong because I would have kept him, but they didn't get along, so maybe that's right. Bringing in Graham Potter and giving him time to actually get his job correct and turn his fortunes was correct, but sacking him and replacing him with Frank Lampard is wrong. So when he says we did everything right, I think you're talking a little bit of nonsense, my friend, but that's just my opinion. And then he goes on and says, the fans are very demanding. We didn't realize how much they wanted to, basically to win. That's what he essentially said. He said the fans are demanding, they want to win. That's his quote. He said we want to win, and we want to win as quick as possible, but we need to remember that this is a long-term project. Big man, none of us said we need to win the Champions League this year. None of us said we want to win the EPL this year. None of us even said we want to win a cup. I just didn't want to go through a process where we've won 3 or 4 games in the last 24. You see, that is unacceptable. That is relegation form. That is form that's going to get us kicked out of the Premier League instead of going in the direction that we can back. You took out a great manager and you replaced him with a transition manager, and more importantly, we took 5 steps backwards. Because I think it's fair to say going from 3rd all the way back to 12th is like 5 steps backwards. Maybe not in league position terms, but in development, it is mad, okay? So let's not beat around the bush here. But then he said something interesting. Todd Boehly said the coach in football is almost like a conductor. When you look at it from a big picture, each league is different. The markets are so different. You can acquire players from everywhere. And the coach is the conductor. He's the one that's going to have to make it all work. So evidently, they do believe that the coach is important. And evidently, that's why they're doing this long process. As of this moment, we don't know who the next manager is. It's gone ridiculously silent about Mauricio Pochettino. No one's getting briefed. No articles are being written. Nothing new has come out since Sunday's meeting. We know there was a meeting in LA, and this was with the consortium. Todd Boehly was there, Iqbali was there, apparently Pochettino was there. So essentially what this means is either we've got him wrapped up or this deal is about to break and we don't know how, what's going to be next. So at this moment in time, we need to just be patient. One thing I will say is, Todd speaking at these press conferences is not going to... Great content for me in the sense I can cover it, I can give you guys some insight about what our owner feels and give you my opinion on it. But I don't know how much I like this very much. But that's just my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about Todd Boehly consistently speaking out. This is the second time he's done a big conference like this where he's on stage, center of the light, talking openly about owning Chelsea. So Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has come out and really, I think I'll call it, defended himself. So an Arsenal fan page really wrote that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang lost his mum. He's had malaria. He ended up dealing with a toxic end to his tenure at Arsenal, where he was exiled from the team and made a scapegoat for the Arteta project. Then he said his house was robbed at Barcelona, and he moved to Chelsea, where he's been booed by his own fans numerous times. Sometimes we are too harsh. Aubameyang responded to the Instagram post, and he openly said, look, people forget what real life is sometimes. And I think this is where he's right. I think the whole being booed by the fans, that's part of the job, right? Where you get paid a lot of money, and if you don't perform, the money almost is compensation for the interest that the fans have in the sport. So when fans are emotive about something, they're going to invest money. Hence, you're going to get paid more. And it's a ripple effect of when you don't play well, they're going to boo. As long as they keep it strictly football related, I've got no problem with that. The minute they start crossing lines, that's when the problem arises. But you know what, guys? I think it's very important that we consider all the other things that happen to him off the pitch. Having your house robbed is a massive deal. Having your house robbed is a scary experience. It's your safety is in jeopardy. It's you being in your safe place at home, and all of a sudden, you don't feel safe. You feel like you could be in danger. The way things ended at Arsenal, it was unfair. We've all seen the All or Nothing documentary. They really painted him out as to be the problem, but we've never saw anything to really exemplify how much of a problem it was. And losing his mum, well, that's a massive thing. Losing his mum is a massive impact in the sense that people grieve in different ways. It takes longer period for individuals to grieve and recover from losing such an important person in your life. So I do think we as fans need to be sometimes more sensitive in off the pitch abuse that we send. Like, I always have a rule. So my rule is very simple. I don't comment under players' pictures anything negative. Even to say you played poorly, I do not tweet players directly negative things, and I don't slide in their DMs in negative way. I don't message any players in the DMs, actually, none of them. And the reason I don't do this is because if I have a bad day at the office, I don't really want someone messaging me about it, do I? No. And I understand my job is nowhere near as public facing as theirs are. Hence, I would not like it, for example, if I made a video that you lot didn't agree with, someone messaging me abuse. I wouldn't like that. Don't do it. It's not nice. That's just my personal opinion. You can message me to have a chat about what you think and what you disagree, but I wouldn't respond if you abused me. I genuinely wouldn't. So I can only imagine how much worse these players must get it. So I feel sorry for him in that sense. A massive problem that we're going to have this summer is offloading players, right? So Alex Crook, all of a sudden he's coming out with a lot of Chelsea inside information. Carney is a massive problem right now in the sense that Chelsea signed him for a lot of money, and they would have thought his development would have improved. And the problem has arisen that he hasn't been playing. Since Frank Lampard's come in, he's struggling to make squads, let alone get on the pitch. So what's going on? Because the reality is, this is a player that should be developing right now. This is a player that should be playing regular minutes. This is a player that should be integrated into the first team, getting ready to hit the ground running next year. But yet it's not happening. Guys, this is the issue at Chelsea Football Club that none of us have ever considered, or none of you have listened to when I've said. When you sign so many young players, it ends up being that you oversaturate your squad. And the problem is, these players need minutes. These players need time. These players need to make mistakes, and these players need to learn from these mistakes. Playing one game and then being isolated for 4 is not going to help these players in the long run. All it's going to do is stagnate their development. And the people don't want to accept that. They want to have all the new shiny toys. They want to just keep them for themselves and think that these players are going to develop. No, they're not. So Carney apparently will be going on loan next summer, and this is great news. I really hope he goes on loan. I really hope he flourishes, and I hope he comes back and absolutely hits the ground running, because he's good enough to be playing for Chelsea in some form. Because if Conor Gallagher gets minutes, this kid can get minutes, and that's my personal opinion. We've seen both of them play under Potter, and one of them, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, looked very good on the ball and the way he received it in tight areas, attributing to final third passes, very positive, brave. The other one looks very nervous every time he touches the ball. You make up your mind which one I'm talking about. But finally, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has been heavily scouted by AC Milan. AC Milan are really interested in acquiring him in the summer. They know he's available. They know that he is a player that could be very prominent in the Serie A league. The issue here arises is Ruben doesn't want to leave. Ruben is very comfortable at Chelsea, right? I think Ruben really likes the lifestyle that comes with being a Chelsea player. I think he's a Chelsea boy, grew up at Chelsea through the youth academy. He's made his debut, he's had multiple injuries, he's on a nice wage. So he's comfortable. Like, Ruben is what you call someone being too comfortable in the role that he's in. I don't think Ruben has any aspirations to become a regular star at any other football club apart from Chelsea. I genuinely think he is so happy here that if his career continued to go down the trajectory is where he's a rotation player, he comes in, plays right wing back, centre mid, right wing back, centre mid, CDM, CAM, wherever he's needed, he'll do it. The problem is now, the new manager is going to have to either force him out or keep him in that role. He's on 120k. The article saying 150, I had to go and check that out. It's not. He's on 120k. So the reality is that's going to be a massive stumbling block. And this is a problem that Chelsea are going to have. There are a lot of players on big boy wages at this club. And to get them out, it's going to be difficult because some clubs aren't going to be paying these wages. Pulisic, massive wages. Ziyech, decent wages. Mendy, decent wages. Kepa, massive wages. I can keep going. And the reality is, how are we going to act? What are we going to do? We need to be very realistic about this and we need to be patient. So in Ruben Loftus-Cheek's thing, is he going to want to move to Milan for less wages? Because Milan can't pay him these wages. And that's the reality. Hit the like button, let me know what your thoughts are. And like I said before, no video until Monday when I return. So basically no content on Friday, Thursday, Monday, Sunday. And I will definitely be giving you content on Monday when I get back. It's a 3-day stag in Portugal, Faro. We're going to be turning up. I'm most probably going to be very drunk. I'm going to have a great time, enjoying myself with my friends. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. But guys, go and follow me on Instagram if you want to keep up with the shenanigans we're doing out there. Because I will be putting up a lot of stories. So yeah, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Peace out, I'm out. Bye. Hopefully Chelsea win this weekend.